and she came back with a crown. Tunafaa tumpigie makofi, by the way. She just came back with a crown. I am talking about the recently crowned Miss Progress International 2026. Her name is Faith Kalau. Welcome to the show, Faith.
Thank you so much,
You
Vivian.
look so beautiful.
Thank you. You yourself.
Thank you. And that crown looks beautiful. And I can only imagine what that means for you. Because, I mean, what happened, you know, when you won this crown, this is actually Kenya's first global crown.
Yeah, in Miss Progress.
Yes, in Miss Progress. This is Kenya's first crown globally.
Yeah.
So you defeated everyone else. Everyone. How many countries were participating?
More than 15. Yeah, and apparently we were only 2 blacks. That is Cameroon and Kenya. And happened, Kenya won, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, we brought the crown home. For the first time, Kenya has been competing like 3 times now. So it's the only time that Kenya has emerged to win this. Not just top 3, but winner overall.
Winning, yeah, coming back with that crown, and we can see it.
Yes.
Just let me in on that moment. Just how, when they called out your name, like and Miss Progress International 2026 is Kenya.
Hello, Kenya.
Yeah. So when that was happening, what was going through your mind, and did you actually know that I actually can take this crown? I can take it.
Well, I had hope because I had prepared enough. I knew they were looking at project, and I made more time into investing in my project and everything else. But also I had like challenges. I arrived late because of the visa issues. Again, to get a visa as a Kenyan, it's not easy, you know, to go to Europe countries. So when that happened, I arrived like a day later, and I kept my A game, obviously.
Yeah.
But obviously I was not expecting it to happen, but it was one of my biggest dreams to happen. So once they called Faith Kalau as winner, I was like, this is happening, or am I just dreaming?
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of emotions. You came to a foreign country, not knowing anybody, just by yourself, and then you happen to be the winner. You know, it was so emotional for me. You know, yeah.
I can imagine. So you got there late, as you mentioned. Was it now late for the boot camp, or just take us through that? Did you go through the boot camp? How many days were they? How was what was that process like? Was it rigorous and all?
Yeah. We were supposed to arrive by 29th, so I was supposed to travel by 28th May. Whereby I did not make it because of the visa issues. I was handed my visa the same day I was supposed to travel. So I started my journey 29th. I arrived there 30th, sorry. And then I missed some couple of activities, which were cruising and dinner, obviously. So the next one was gifting session, where I joined them in the midst of it. And I was like, okay. Yeah. I'm tired and I don't have time to rest. I need to catch up with them and change to the next activity. So everything moved so fast, no enough time to rest, obviously. But the following day, that's when we had the interviews for project. That was like the real game. That is when they choose the winner. Oh. Yeah, for the interview. So you go there, you present your project, you explain to them what actually you want to do. And from that, they have like judges who judge your project, and they give you marks from that. So project is like 50% of it. It's mostly like, it's the overall thing. Yeah, so I gave it my A game, and I was like, and then there was a challenge with the language because they speak Italian, and I don't know Italian, but we have like translators. So you just pray that they translate it right for you, which happened for me, and here we are.
Nice, lovely. We'll get into the project that you got to pitch or to speak about, because it is a beautiful initiative. So we'll get to that. But before we get to that, you know, on what you're being judged on, you said the project beat takes a huge or a bigger chunk of deciding who gets to be the winner. Maybe what else do they look out for? Because this takes 50%, so there's another 50 that you also need to make the cut for you to become the winner. So these other 50, what are they looking at? What are they judging you on?
Voting as well. Before traveling, obviously we had voting for 81 days, and I was like number 2 in voting. So that is, number 2 basically gets like 5%, number 1 gets 10%. So Puerto Rico was number 1 and Kenya was number 2 in voting. Also, they check on how you socialize with people, how your personality is within the boot camp, with the other girls, with the staff. There's that too, and how you show up for any activity, whether you're on time, you're not on time. That's where they reduce the marks, you know. Yeah, that's a secret. Nobody else knows, but yeah, that's how they normally come down to it. And also how you speak. Yeah, how you speak as well, how you can portray your message clearly. Yeah.
And I love that, you know, when it came to the voting, you know, Kenya was number 2.
Yeah.
You know, because that means that Kenyans rallied behind you. That means that you had supporters from Kenya who literally were voting to ensure that you become the winner. Let's talk about that, because many a times when we are talking about our country and the talents we have within us, unfortunately, but I love that this story is changing. We talk about, oh, Kenyans do not support enough. Oh, Kenyans do not support their talents well enough. But, well, it's proof. You know, from you, you can proudly say that Kenyans rallied behind me. If you can just talk a bit about that.
Actually, it was more of a community because I could not do that by myself. So it started with friends and friends of friends and from work, schools, everywhere. So initially I was like, will I make this? Because it's a lot of talking and convincing people to vote for you, because you have to keep on explaining every now and then, why should I vote for you? What are you going to gain after? And actually to act, you just need to try. You just need to put yourself out there. Just explain yourself, explain your situation. You're like, oh guys, I'm competing for Miss Progress International. If you guys could just vote for me, I'll really appreciate, you know. And I appreciate because they came through. Voting was like daily for 81 days. So it's not just a one-day thing, and they continued. So I had to form like a group where we kind of psyched up each other, like, let's vote today, remember to vote today. Yeah, and we made it. We were just a little bit close to number 1.
And I'm sure we could have easily gotten that number 1 spot from voting if more people knew about it. Because I feel like also, maybe many people didn't even know that Kenya is being represented at Miss Progress International. And maybe how best can we ensure that, you know, when it comes to pageants as well, we are also just as active as we are with other talents like, you know, sports, music, and all of that. Maybe what is amiss, or what can we just add on or change when it comes to that, and making sure that when we have a queen representing us out there, it is progress that, how do I put it? Like, it is something that all of us should participate in. All of us should know about it. Yeah.
I think the best thing to do is, because this link is not just posted, sometimes you come across, how many links do you come across every night? Very many.
So many.
But sometimes you're like, you don't give attention to it. So I think anything that is doing with Kenya and supporting like models, let's just be like take initiative to just try and vote. If you see somewhere that someone is saying, I'm competing to go and represent Kenya internationally, that is like you. It's basically you. They're representing you because you're Kenya as well. So in that moment, I feel like anytime that you see a link shared, do not hesitate to support that person, because you don't know how much your effort to support, like voting, a simple vote could actually mean. Because let's assume it's 10,000 people who keep on seeing the link and it's not been it. We're losing 10,000 votes, you know.
Yeah.
So
I get what you're saying on that. Now, this crown that you're carrying so elegantly, you know, what does it mean for you?
For me, it means like actually coming back home and advocating for what I believe that is rightfully for me, that is Dignity Behind Bars. And I'm thankful for the department, that is Miss Progress International, for ensuring or believing in my dream to come and do this project here in Kenya. And for me, it's not just the crown just to be seen with, it's more of an obligation or a responsibility within the society where I can actually advocate for my cause, that is Dignity Behind Bars, and ensure that women can have their dignity while also still in bars.
Yeah, so that was your project. This was the winning project, by the way. So Dignity Behind Bars.
Yeah, that's the name.
What dignity are we talking about behind bars? What's the whole project about?
The whole project is about menstrual products, that is cycle. Most of the time, we tend not to actually look at people who are incarcerated because we're like, we just forget about them, you know. That is how society has captured our minds to believe in. But in real sense, they actually women, and they go through menstrual cycle every month. And it's a biological process. There's no way you can stop it just because you are behind bars. So once you're there and you don't have like enough product to support you during your cycle process, then it becomes a challenge. And from there, that's when now we start having issues of, oh, someone is being in prison without enough proper care of hygiene. That is like not enough sanitary pads and so on. So my initiative was to actually, because I understand government do support like a percentage, but not like fully. And also we have like donation which comes in every now and then from well-wishers. And given that me and you know that price for pads was increased early February by 20%, that means that the donations rate decreased. So from that means that someone who was getting pads is not getting pads. Yeah, so from there I was like, I think we can just come up with a solution where they can make their own pads, you know. They can make their own pads, they can be part of this process of restoring their dignity by themselves if we give them the right resources. That's where reusable pads comes in. So my initiative is basically just buying them a machine and then training them on how to produce a reusable pad.
Nice.
Yeah, and how they can also manage the hygiene. Yeah.
Brilliant idea. I see how that was the winning project, because many a times when we think about helping in that kind of way, we think about doing drives for bring pads, you know, if you can donate maybe the pads, if you can donate money, and then we take the pads and take it to the place where it's needed. That is what we usually do. But I love your thinking on this. How many times will you be doing drives to bring in the pads?
Every now and then.
It will never be enough, because this is something that happens monthly, and it's this number of women, each one of them having their own day. So this is something that is almost happening daily. So we need these pads on a daily basis. So we can't sustain it if we talk about just taking them there as a drive, you know, doing it as a drive to take it there. But the idea of how about they make it themselves?
Yeah.
Was there a particular moment that made you think of that idea? Is there a story behind it?
Before, we were just going there and donating pads, as you said. That is what everybody else can just think of, like a quick solution, you know.
It's the
but again, I was
one.
like, okay, so once I'm done with this title after 1 year, so that's it. We're going back to default again. Someone else is coming in or someone is not coming in. So they're gonna have the same issue over and over and over again. So I was like, I think we need a permanent solution, because, and how can you make it so unique that they can be part of it? And very cheap, very sustainable for the facility and everything else. I was like, I think I can just come up with reusable pads where it's easy to make if they have the appropriate resources. That's why the heavy lift is buying the machine, and after buying the machine, investing heavily as well in training them on how to produce that. So from producing that, then they can actually make it, and we can show them how they can be maintaining it, because it can last like 2 years to 5 years if taken care of well. So compared to going and donating pads every now and then, it doesn't give us like permanent solution. It's just like immediate relief.
Yeah.
But also we need to be thinking of solutions where we can have long-term resolutions. Yeah.
Nice. Very, very well put, and that's a brilliant idea. Let me say that again. So where are you doing this? You mentioned that they have allowed you to come continue with our project right here in Kenya. So where specifically are you doing it? Are you going around women prisons, or have you started with a particular one? Just let me in on that.
Right now I'm focusing, initially the goal was Murang'a prisons, because that's where we started. So I want to start with that one. My goal overall is to see other prisons implementing this as well.
Okay.
But in the meantime, we are starting with Murang'a prisons, and hopefully whatever we are going to do in Murang'a prisons will inspire more prisons to actually implement our solution as a permanent one.
So have you started it, or how far are you with getting to now begin that?
We are working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're working on it since it's just like few weeks.
You just came
from
back.
Yeah. So we are still working on approvals here and there, and purchasing the machine, and looking for sponsors and partners. Yeah, that's where we are at. But at the end of the year, we need to have implemented it. Yeah.
Wishing you the very best on that, and I hope sponsors just jump on board, because it's very dignifying. You know, it's a really dignifying initiative. Now let's get back to just getting to know Faith more, and getting to understand where your love for this began, your love for fashion, your love for this part now, or pageantry and all. Just take us back. Where did that love stem from?
I was like, initially, it started with my body, because I kind of struggled with weight overall. So I had like a slim body every now and then, and people kept bullying me for that. And then I was like, I see Kendall Jenner every now and then, and she's making money out of her body, you know. And then I was like, I think I need to do fashion. That was my initial goal, doing fashion. And then happened that I did not have a right coach for fashion. I had the right coach for pageantry. That was back in 2021, back at my campus. So from there I was like, okay, this is what is available. Let me just do that. I started and then competed for that campus 2021, and obviously I came top 5.
I love that you said obviously. Like,
obviously,
hey,
top 5,
look at me.
like, yeah, top 5. And then from there I said, maybe I can just do more, you know. From there I went to Miss Hot Legs. That was back 2022. And I was top 5 again. And then from there I went to Miss Earth Kenya. That was 2023. I was top 7. And then I was like going back again to Miss Hot Legs and be like, you know, I need just to go back and confirm whether I can still have this crown. Again, top 5. So I took a break, like a year gap. That was 2024. I took a gap like 2 years, and then Miss Progress happened. Miss Progress happened, and then I was like, I think I need to go back to pageantry, you know. I cannot just let my legacy be of failure. Yeah, I need to go back and make sure that this time round I'm coming back stronger. So I applied for Miss Progress. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. I think I'm ready, and I'm applying. So I sat down and applied. And then from there they selected me and went on, and I was like, okay, not even top 3, just winner, you know, for Miss Progress. The first win, which came without top 3, just winner. And then I was like, what is God trying to tell me? And then I went from Miss Progress International, which was a little bit complicated because of the process every now and then for visa issues. I think visa issues has the most hectic job to get, you know, as a Kenyan. And then that was done with. Went to Miss Progress International, made my A game, boom, Kenya won.
And that's a true story of resilience. Because looking at how many times you were going back just to try top 5, okay, top 5, okay, top 3, okay, I'm still gonna go back. And also, this brings me to my next question. Is there a limit to how many times one can apply for a pageantry?
there is no limit. As long as your dream is not yet there, you need to keep on chasing it. I think for some people, it takes them one step just to get what they want, like a crown. You can just get someone, like my friend was like her first pageant and she got it. You know, for me, I had to try like different every now and then.
Oof, and you've tried all of them, girl.
Yeah, I tried all of them. It's just Miss Universe was the next one. But you see, we are here now. So I actually think everybody has a different path in their life, and you should not be deeming yourself because you haven't reached your goal, comparing yourself to the friends or whatever. Everybody has their timeline.
And their own journey.
Yeah, and their own journey. So do not pressure yourself. As much as your dream is not yet there, keep chasing it, no matter what.
Yeah. They say, and there's something I really love to say, it's that it's not over until it's done.
Yeah,
it's not over until it's done. So whatever it is that you're chasing, it is not over until it is done. Until you get it, that's when it's over. And then now pick up the next thing. So I really love the fact that, you know, your journey is of resilience and not giving up and just going back again and again until it was done. And here you are. And you actually brought back the crown as the first Kenyan to ever bring it, you know, at Miss Progress International. So look at that. Hey, round of applause to you.
I know, right?
I love it. There's something you had mentioned, and I want to pick on that, that you say that this story began with you having an issue with your weight. And many a times when we hear someone saying they had an issue with weights, you assume that they were overweight. You know, even when you mentioned, as you were telling your story, I was already like, what do you mean you had that? Because I thought maybe you were overweight. So there's something that people, when we talk about body shaming, which happens, unfortunately, many a times, we look at it from someone that is perceived to be overweight. But there's body shaming for people who are leaner, you know, for people who are smaller. And that is never viewed as body shaming. If you can just touch a bit on that. And did you ever go through that phase where, you know, body shaming is as simple as, you cool, and you've been eating, man. It's just that you're not growing bigger.
I've been there, So basically, I've been in both scenarios, overweight, not just that overweight, but at some point I felt fat, and also have been in this body as well. So I've experienced on both. So at any point, I was told, you need to lose weight, you need to add weight. There is no time that people tell you have a perfect body. There is no time. So even if you add weight, they'll still find something wrong with that adding weight. If you lose weight, they'll still find issue with you losing weight as well. Because they'll be like, why are you not eating? What's the problem with you? Are you okay? Like, tell your friend. There was a day that I was in Matatu and a guy was just randomly telling my friend, ambia beshte yako akule. I'm like, that's so random and so rude, you know, because you don't understand what challenges this person is facing.
You don't even know this person.
You just don't know them, and then you're assuming it's food that they're lacking. Maybe they have depression or whatever that is, but you don't have any rights to do so.
Or maybe that's just their body.
Yeah, and they love it the way it is, you know. There are many challenges or people can face, or maybe people like their body the way they are. Personally, I do like my body the way it is.
Hello.
And in case of anything, the most comfortable body that you feel in, whether oversized, whether skinny, that's the best body you can go with. As long as yourself feel you're beautiful inside, you wake up every day and you look at the mirror and you're like, I'm so beautiful. That's all matters.
And as human beings, both male and female, we come in different shapes, sizes, heights. I know. So how about you just embrace each other? You know, this is me, this is how, this is you. You don't need to mention or make comments on how I look. This is just how I am, you know?
That's how I love my body.
That's how I love my body. And if it's something I'm working on, maybe I feel I'm overweight, I want to, it's supposed to be my business, not yours.
I'll seek, obviously, guidance from relevant teams, obviously. If I need to go to the gym, if I need to do what, that is on me. Let me just be the one to make that call, but not you.
Absolutely. Now, as we finalize on this conversation, I want you to weigh in on our question of the day. And our question of the day is on where do we draw the line between criticism and being sensitive? You know, where do we draw the line between being sensitive and being and criticism, between criticism and sensitivity, especially when we talk about mental wellness with our celebrities? Where do we draw that line?
I think we need to give them grace because they are all humans. And just because they're celebs, that doesn't give us like the right to just go ahead and throw every bomb that we have towards them, trying to make them look like they should be in a certain type of way because they're a public figure. Again, at the end of the day, they're just human beings. They're just like someone like you and me. And as much as we want them to be perfect, that can't happen. We need to allow them to be human. And we need to also remember when we're back at the keyboards typing, if this was you, how would you feel? That is the question that you should be asking yourself every now and then that you're making a comment towards someone.
Love that.
Yeah.
And that is where we are going to end this interview. Congratulations one more time for bringing back the crown. That is Miss Progress International 2026. Her name is Faith, and yeah,
thank you.
She's a beauty queen, as you can see. Thank you so much for gracing us. You can find her on social media, I believe, at
Faith Kalau.
Faith Kalau.
Yeah.
We're taking a break. Don't go too far. We'll be back to continue with Entertainment Thursday with the DJ playing us the new songs that have been released recently.
Lights on, volume up. This is where stories come alive. From local drama that hits close to home
alinivamia akiwa na vijana wengine wawili. Toka nje.
Hii nyumba yako. Yote ni porojo.
To international series everyone's talking about. Stories that pull you in. Characters you won't forget.
Stop complaining and just get out of here. Go now. Go, go.
We turn up the volume with music that moves, showcases rising stars and bring the beat straight to your living room. And when it's time to talk, we don't hold back.
How is everything going?
Real conversations, big personalities, the issues, the loves, the moment everyone's debating the next day. Every show, every night, different voices, one destination. This is television that feels alive, unpredictable, and missable.
Too straightforward. Sinaga time ya kusleki.